My name is Fani. I'm a tattoo artist, specialized in realism. And today is the day. I'm going on a quest. I want to trace the roots of tattoo art. I've set out on a special mission. I want to find the oldest tattoo machine in the world. For that, I'm taking on a 10-hour journey. My cameraman, my brother. He's not exactly thrilled, but honestly, what else are siblings for? 10 hours, way too much coffee, and a few, why are we even doing this, moments later, we've arrived in Switzerland, and somewhere here it's waiting, the story, the machine, the origin.
The panther with my arm. I was 15 years old. A guy in Yonkers called Crazy Danny made it. I had a scab afterwards, so thick. But the red, the green, and the yellow has never been touched. That's a real tattoo. Wow! My name's Dave Holm, also known as Dave the Skin. I'm originally from New York. Been living in Switzerland since 1989. I have a tattoo museum, tattoo studio, and I love tattoo history. The tattoo museum here in Switzerland, it's not the biggest collection in the world, but it's absolutely the most unique. You'll never find articles what I have here anywhere else in the world.
While Dave was guiding me through the museum, I kept thinking about how I could tell him that I'd really love to tattoo a single line using the world's oldest tattoo machine, on fake skin, of course. At any other museum, they'd probably kick me out for even asking. But with Dave, I've got a good feeling, but more on that later.
That's the father of the tattoo machine. This is an electric doorbell. It was made approximately 1860. It's a very early model. It still works. And it's the same principle that tattoo machine's been running on for over 120 years. It hasn't changed. It's two coils, produce a magnetic field. There's a spring here, makes contact here, and goes up and down. And breaks the contact, makes the contact again, and it's going up and down. Father of the tattoo machine.
After Dave told me the story, I could hardly believe it. The fact that the first electric tattoo machine was actually based on an old doorbell is just wild. I find that incredibly fascinating, which is why I want to show you these rare pieces up close. It actually looks a lot like a tattoo machine. The shape, the parts, even the way it sits. It's like it was always meant to become one. A small, unremarkable object that marked the beginning of something truly big.
This bottle here is over 100 years old. Came from around 1890, I'm sure. 1890, 1885. This is poison. It's mercury sulfide. Hands off. The first color after black is red. On the label, it's clearly written on the top left of the label, poison. Mercury is highly poisonous, especially when you put it in your skin.
But why did they do that?
Why not? They don't care. Mercury sulfide, the first color after black.
The first red tattoo ink. A chemical risk called mercury sulfate. Toxic, yes, but still a milestone in tattoo history. And judging by the look on Dave's face, you can tell exactly what they must have been thinking back then.
These are the two oldest objects in the museum. They're made from silver. They were bought at a private auction in Belgium. These two tattoo needles were made in 1550. The silver, the grade of the silver is something close to what comes out of Mexico. So this is the closest origin we can find of these two needles, but They're absolutely special. Very, very, very nice tools. Hand tools.
How is it used for tattooing?
I'm sure with the thumb, you can't put too much pressure on this, but I believe it was from the thumb, the spring action of the thumb. This is my belief. Because, you know, as many of the hand tools that you see I have in the back, some are done with the hammer, some are done with poking. So there's many different arts or styles or tools, primitive hand tools for tattooing. Otzi, who was, you know, the Iceman, they said he was most likely tattooed with sharpened bone, animal teeth maybe. And tattooing tools are unique by the age, by where the origin is. There's a lot there to it. This is a whale's tooth from a whale that was hunted in the North Atlantic by American sailors who went out and hunted whales for their blubber to produce oil and other products. When they were hunting whales, sometimes there were 6-8 weeks until they saw a whale to hunt. Life was pretty boring on a ship, so the sailors went to art, and this art is called scrimshaw. Scrimshaw started around the early 1800s up until the early 1900s. This portrait here is from General Burnside. He was a famous Civil War general in America. This whale's tooth was engraved on a ship out in the middle of the Atlantic. It's engraved with the needle that they used to repair the sails with. And once it's engraved, they rub burned oil into it to blacken it. This portrait was done in 1862. That's pretty fucking hard on a rocking ship, huh? This is one in the world. It's only one. It's handwork. It's very, very beautiful. The artist who did it, very good artist. But not only is this portrait perfect, it's historically for tattooing really important because it's the first time, this is in 1862, somebody called themselves a tattoo artist. Inscribed here is Old Burnside, carved by tattoo artist Elmo May Jr. Rappahannock, that's in Maryland, December 1862. This is a really important part of tattooing history. The first time that we know somebody called themselves a tattoo artist. Wow. Crazy. This is what a whale's tooth looks like naturally. In order to do the scrimshaw art and to carve it, it has to be polished. They polish this away or they rub it away with coral from the sea, like sandpaper. You know, you have different grades. Some's very rough, some's very fine, you know, the smaller corals or the fans, and that's what they polished it with. But it had to be polished and to rub off one side. I think it took about a month and a half. They had lots of time out at sea. This piece here, absolutely historical. This tattoo machine from Tattoo Peter. 2 coils, produce a magnetic field, spring making contact to a contact screw. Technology and the way the machine works hasn't changed in over 150 years. The only difference between any tattoo machine is the frame around it. This tattoo machine is special. It has a wooden grip. The wooden grip was founded, they invented this in Scandinavia, Denmark and Sweden in the early 1960s. Later, the rest of the European tattoo machine builders, they adopted this idea. And from the early 60s until the middle 70s, the wood grip was very, very popular. Until the middle 70s, they found out that wood's not all hygienic. So they went back to steel. It's a very interesting machine Peter built, very strong. And for a machine that's 70 years old, it's still running too. These machines will run longer than you're alive. Back then, they didn't wipe this down with nothing. They boiled their needles in water to clean them. No sterilizing. Boiling water, that was it. And a bucket of alcohol. When I got my second tattoo, after the tattoo artist was finished, he reached into a bucket, grabbed a rag full of alcohol, slammed it on my tattoo. Whew! That hurt more than the whole tattoo.
Imagine walking into a museum and asking if you can tattoo with a 70-year-old machine. Any other museum would have probably kicked me out. But Dave, he didn't say yes or no. He just started setting up a needle.
Trying to put the needle in, see if it's going to work. Yeah, we can probably do a line with this.
This is what a tattoo looks like with a 70-year-old tattoo machine. A wooden grip, and it still works like it was made yesterday. Tattoo Peter's machine, a true piece of history, and I had the honor to work with it. It means a lot to me. Thank you, Dave. When Dave took a short break, I wandered through the museum. That's when I came across an even older machine. But for some reason, he hadn't shown me that one. Since I'm on a mission to find the oldest tattoo machine in the world, I had to ask him about it.
So, I mean, that one would probably work, but I don't with it. I don't fool around with it, you know? See? Give me a kiss. Yeah, you're a good girl. You're a sweetie, huh? You love everybody? Huh?
We took a break, and I thought I'd probably never get to hold the oldest tattoo machine in the world. But just as we were about to pack up the equipment, suddenly, Dave appeared.
Coil tattoo machine. It's about 150 years old. It's from New York. The maker or the builder was Bob Edwards. He had many patents for different coil machines, not only tattoo machines, but the electric doorbell, electric door buzzer, anything that had to do with magnetic function. My father's friend found it in his uncle's father's house in the cellar. And my father's friend, he said, oh, I think I'm afraid he's got a tattoo machine. He gave it to my father. My father took it home, and lo and behold, wow, what a find. And for free. It was a special find. It really was. It was funny, the guy who is credited for the first tattoo machine invention, O'Reilly, he lived 2 blocks away from Edwards' shop. And it's believed that he stole the idea from Edwards. Can't be proven, but most historians, tattoo historians, the older guys, they think so as well. I discovered this, but it can't be proven. It's not a proven fact. So there's some things that do remain a mystery in our lives. There's my coffee. But there are some things that remain a mystery. But this is a really, really cool machine. It's very, very special. It came together with the power pack. This power supply was made in 1872. It's made by the company Edwards. Handmade wooden case. It's quite cool. These are the two plugs for the clip cord connecting to the machine. And that's the on-off power switch. There was no regulation. It was just one steady power. There was no regulation. So when it was on, it was on. And when it was working, it was working. And believe it or not, after 150 years, this machine's still working. You know, the new style of tattoo machines today, the pens, the rotary machines, they use a little electric toy motor. But this machine here, it's 150 years old. It's still working. These machines are going to be working long after the tattoo artist is dead. Long after. That it's in such great condition, being over 150 years old. Positive, negative. Negative on one side, at the bottom of the coils. 150 years old. More. Still working. Crazy. As you see, there's only one spring here. Machines today, most of them are made with 2 springs. But it's cool. It's in great condition for the age, you know? The frame is it's not broken, it's bent.
We weren't able to insert a needle since the frame is slightly bent, but in that moment, none of that really mattered. I was able to feel the machine in my hands to get a sense of its shape, its balance, its presence. And despite all those years, it still runs. It's honestly hard to believe how well this machine has been preserved. It felt like time had simply paused, just for a second, so I could step into the past. The shape, the weight, the way it moves, everything about it felt like holding a living piece of history, not locked behind glass, but right there in front of me, fully real and tangible. This machine was built in another time, and yet somehow it's still alive. But the longer I spent there, the more I realized that as incredible as the machine is, what really stayed with me was something else entirely. It wasn't just about holding a rare object, it was about meeting the person who keeps that history alive. Being able to hold the machine was an honor, but getting to know Dave meant even more to me. He's not just a collector. He's someone who understands the value of every piece, someone who protects this culture, not for himself, but for everyone who comes after. I came here to find the oldest tattoo machine in the world, and I ended up meeting the person who carries that legacy.
Everything is emotional. Everything inside this building. It's my 40 years of passion, collecting tattoo history, preserving it, putting it into other people's hands. I'm only a caretaker for a certain time. There's other items that I have and I've sold that I've had it long enough, and not that I don't appreciate it, but I've sent it off to another museum or another collector who I know will continue to share it long after I'm gone. And that's where I'm coming from.
Dave told me that it would take at least 3 full days just to see everything he's gathered in this museum. And after what I saw, I believe it. If you ever get the chance to visit his museum, do it. It's more than just worth it. It's a journey into the heart of tattoo history. You'll find Dave's social media and his website linked in the description below. And if you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed and left a like. And if you want to learn how to tattoo a realistic portrait, whether on fake skin or real skin, check out the next video right here.